Hi, I'm Streaky and today I'm reviewing the PMC IB2S-A. So PMC speakers, you're probably well aware of them. They're in a lot of mastering studios around the world, especially at Metropolis where I used to hang out. And they have the bigger versions of these, which are the BB5s, or now they do the BB6s. Now, I've had a similar pair of these before, which have got this sort of flat cone here, which apparently stops it from having some cone distortion or something. It's similar. Now, I'm not going to get into the way that these work as speakers with the ATL system. I'll leave that for someone else's video because it's all quite dull and that's not my cup of tea. So what I'm interested in is I've been given some big heavy PMC speakers to listen to in my room and check out whether I like them or not. So this flat bass response carbon malarkey in the bottom, like that, keeps the bass really tight. I've always liked that on another set that I had a long time ago. I think they were kind of the precursor to this. This mid-range, now the mid-range looks very similar to the ATCs that I checked out the other week. It's probably a similar design idea, very kind of similar in sound, but I would say the ATC definitely gets it on the mid-range. And then obviously this little tweeter, and they're fairly big. I mean, they weigh a ton. They're on these big heavy stands too. You can get a sub that goes with them, which I haven't got. Would have been nice, but then you can't have everything. So these retail at a nice cheap price of about 22,000 for these. That's pounds as well, so you're probably talking about 30,000 US. Now, do they sound like 30,000 US dollars worth of speaker? Now, I know PMC speakers really well. I've basically worked on them for most of my career on the bigger ones, and like I say, I've had a smaller set too. And so you either, I think, like the PMC sound or you don't. If you know the PMC sound, it's very, very clinical. Now, the bass on PMCs is always top notch. It's very hard, I think, to beat them for bass. It's always very tight. I think that's something to do with their malarkey that they do inside with the ATL system. But it is always a really fast, tight low end, and that's exactly what these have too. They certainly have that, and especially for the size of the cone, it's quite surprising how much solid bass they actually pump out. As I say, the mid-range is very good. What I would say overall about the speaker is that they're very flat across the whole frequency range, which is very similar for most of the PMCs that I've listened. I haven't listened to the very small ones, but for the larger speakers, they are very telling. They go super high and they go super low. They're great reference monitors. They are perfect to work on. They're perfect for mastering and for mixing. They're just very straight and clean and clinical, but for me they just lack a bit of excitement. They're more your science teacher than your art teacher. They're a little bit kind of, they're doing everything in the right way and you get a good result, which ultimately is what we're after, and we're after something that translates as well to the outside world, which these definitely do. But I kind of feel that they don't make me want to play loads of songs. They don't want me to fly through my record collection really, where other speakers I've tried have. But they're kind of safe hands. So that's what I would say really. So, you know, I'm not putting them down, I'm just saying that they're just, you know, very clean, do what they need to do, but they're not a speaker that is really exciting. They're not very hi-fi, I wouldn't say, this particular one in particular. So they come now, because these are the active versions, they've got some DSP stuff going on. So you've got this remote where you can turn the volume up and down. You can go in and have certain presets. So yeah, different settings. So you can turn the EQ up and you can mute them. So you can kind of use this as a bit of a controller, which is nice. So when I set them up in the room, we put some more bass in and changed the tops a bit, which was nice. So we could adjust them for the room. A lot of companies do that now, which is great. So you can measure your room with something like Fuzz Measure and then adjust the speakers with it if you don't want to use software like SonarWorks or one of those others, pick your brand. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the PMCs. If you've got any thoughts on PMC speakers, if you want me to review anything, let me know. Love to hear what you've got to say if you've checked these out, or any other PMCs. Please leave any comments. Please subscribe and like the video, and thanks for watching. If you want me to master for you, there's a bit of a discount for getting this far below in the comments. Until next time, bye.